Computer. Okay. Ooh, recording in progress. So here we go, everybody. Right, this is the first hand, and it's such a messy auction. I assume I actually saw this played, and this was the actual auction performed at the time. It's the sort of thing we've all seen, where the initial bid has taken a lot of room away, and then people with good suits just feel they have to go and bid them, and we end up in six hearts. Not a silly final bid. Since East had jumped to four hearts, you can expect excellent hearts opposite, and West does have a lot of tricks and a cover in the space, so not a silly contract. And the lead, ever likely with a two-spade bid, is a low spade. Well, I don't think we can afford to duck that, because North has shown six spades, and if North wins and plays one back, we would be very lucky not to get a spade rough. So we need to begin, regardless, I think, by winning. And now the unfortunate thing is that our entry has been removed to dummy. So I've got no way of getting back there. So at first sight, it looks as though I need to, if I'm lucky, cash ace, king, queen of diamonds, with diamonds breaking 3-3. That would enable me to get rid of my losing spades, and then draw the trumps after that, because the king and queen of clubs would just lose one trick and I'll make my contract. So will they break? Well, it's against the odds if nobody had bid, of course. It's only 35.5% of the time that you get a 3-3 break, but I think it's even less than that when somebody's opened with a 6-card suit. It becomes even more likely that you get a doubleton diamond in the north hand and a 4-card diamond suit in the south hand, or even worse than that. So is there any alternative? And in fact there is. It's just a little hard to see. It relies on the same more. Actually, disable the share sounds.
I think if you go to participants, Alan, you'll find a mute all button.
Participants. All right, I'll try that. There's a button. I can invite, or I can copy invite link. It's because I'm sharing, Colin.
Oh, because you're sharing, it won't let you. Okay, let me see if I can do anything. Hold on just a moment.
Very much doubt you have permission.
Well, I can mute me, but I can't mute anybody else. No.
Oh, I've stopped the sharing. Okay, well, I can mute everybody now. I've accidentally stopped the sharing. Mute all.
Oh, yeah, you can.
Right, okay. Now share the screen again. And am I still recording? There's the question. What's more important? No, I'm still recording, it says. So hopefully, okay, Sonia then, you're happy young girl now? Good, excellent, moving on. So if I draw the trump, so then I have no way back, but I do, because I'm fairly sure that North started with 6 spades, so South has none. And also, most people, if they've got a solid spade suit of king, queen, jack, 10, 9, and an outside ace, would treat that as an opening bid. So there's every chance that South has the ace of diamonds. So actually, I have no problem getting back to dummy, courtesy of South. All I have to do is draw the trumps. Hope you all did this. And another one. Maybe they're 2-2. I think I need the spade, and no, they can't be 2, but they are 3. Right, okay, let's draw the last trump, and I could throw a club, but I don't know, I don't really need all those. Okay, so now the only thing I can do wrong at this point is to play a low club trying to reach the queen, because then of course they can put me in with the king of clubs. So So how about leading the king first to make sure they can't throw me in with it? And well, I don't think South will win. He'll really hope I've got a singleton club and cannot reach the dummy. So he'll probably dock that in some sort of hope that you can't reach dummy. But you can, because if he docks this one, you will reach dummy with the queen. And if he rises with the ace, then he has to go and put you into dummy. I don't know what he would do. Jack of diamonds, maybe. But here we are with loads of winners, and we can start throwing everything away. We can even throw away one of our trumps, but not too soon. Throw away the 2 spades first, and then rough back to hand and cash your remaining trumps. So I'm going to claim all the tricks at this point. So is everybody happy? The first sight is, oh, I've got to risk playing off ace, king, queen of diamonds. But mature thought says, well, North can't get in. South almost certainly has the ace of clubs. I can afford to draw the trumps because I can put South in with the ace of clubs, and South will then let me reach dummy later on. Somebody's saying ace of clubs he meant. Did I say ace of spades? I can't remember. Fused. Okay, sorry. Whatever I said, I meant you're going to reach dummy by South must have the ace of clubs. Yes, okay, and then you must be able to reach dummy. Colin, you said?
Well, what I was going to say was the secret of this hand, as with so many, is working out the distribution of the opponents. Once you appreciate that South won't have any trumps or spades left, then it becomes a lot easier. But you've got to go through that process to start with.
I am going to move on to hand number 2. Okay, as long as I get a heart, everything's fine. Okay, so pass here. So 5 spades, which would be a Blackwood response, and 6. Okay, so that seems easy to understand. So it's a 1 diamond opener, 1 spade response. A bid that typically shows around 18, but that includes distribution points with the splinter game force, with the splinter bid. Tell me what you've got, and I have two top controls and the queen of spades. So I don't think South have good spades, though. That doesn't feel right. I'm going to let West bid spades. There we go. Okay, so North to lead. Nasty sequence to lead from, because South has bid diamonds, and but to lead away from any of your other holdings rather risk giving a trick away. I mean, West has ace jack of hearts, he could have ace queen, and I suppose a heart would be sensible, but the lead chose. I'm guessing again that this is something I saw played at the table, and I tend to choose leads that was created at the table. 6 spades by West. Okay, everybody's happy. So how we play this? Well, the 10 of diamonds with East bidding them suggests that the diamonds actually suggest that's a singleton, which is rather worrying, because if so, if I've got 2 thoughts in my mind. One of them is I could rough the diamond to set up tricks there, and the other one is I can set up clubs by roughing tricks there. But if I rough the clubs, I've got to use all my top trumps in dummy, and then it's hard to see how I can then cash any club winners I've set up if all I've got left to draw the trumps is the jack and the 9 in high cards. So it looks more natural to try and set up the diamonds, and another line, of course, is actually to try just to cross rub everything. But my instincts would be, although I don't find this clear at all, my instincts would be to initially, at least, to try and set up the diamonds. So that's rather good, actually. The 10 was led, which rather implies the 9. I am suspecting now that North has led from King to 5, and that's Jack Doubleton, or that South has got King, Jack, and another. At least if I lead diamonds, I'm not so likely to be overruffed. Okay. Now I need to get back and ruff another diamond, and that means I think I should be crossing to the King of Hearts. Well, there's no point blocking the heart suit. If I play Ace and King, will I be ruffed? I don't see why. That would be a vicious spade break. So I'm going to cash the Ace of Hearts. And then another one to get back to dummy. But otherwise, I'm going to continue my plan of trying to set up some heart winners. And this works wonderfully because the King drops. So at this point, I would be fairly relaxed, which of course is a bad mistake playing bridge. You should never be relaxed. But it does look as though I can just draw trumps, and with my 2 diamond tricks and the ace of clubs, if the spade finesse loses, I can ruff a heart. Surely I'm going to make the contract. Well, yes and no. If the spades, if the King of clubs is on, spades is on side, I'm definitely going to make. In fact, I think I'll probably make over tricks if that's the situation. If the King of spades is with South to 3, I'm also going to make the contract. I will have the ability to ruff that heart, draw the trumps, cash my 2 diamonds. The problem is, and you have to think of it, what if actually South has got the King and also got 4 of the spade suit? In that case, it's not quite as good now, because I have communication problems going to and fro. But I have another line at this point, which will win almost regardless of where the King of spades is and how many trumps any particular person has. And that alternative line is to turn this into a cross ruff situation, because as a cross ruff, when I lead the diamonds from dummy, whatever spade South has, he has to play in front of me. So if he plays his King of spades, well, he was always going to win it, and I can throw a losing club. And if he doesn't, I can put my 9 up and Jack up. And if North has it, I might go down if North's got 4 spades to the King. But nevertheless, I would judge this to be a better option than just going for the straightforward finesse, which is why I said it's a good thing not to be relaxed. You reached a very good position, but is it sufficient to actually make the contract? So my preferred line now would be to try and make all my trumps by elopement, in effect, and I lead cards that I can ruff and then just make them by trumping things. So here we go, another club, and they are making the 2 of spades by elopement. And I need to ruff a heart, I think. Can I ruff a diamond? Better to ruff the heart early, that should be safer. I think Jack, and I'm going to again play my low trump. There we go, eloping the 6 of spades. Now another club. Well, they're really getting quite good, these trumps, but they're not good enough as such that I can just ruff with the ace. Declare might ruff him with his king and then clear 2 of my trumps. So I think I'm going to ruff that one small as well. Okay, I've got away with everything here. Now I think this is 100% with such strong trumps left. They're only going to be able to make 1 trick. So I go and lead a spade. No, that's not a spade. I go and lead a diamond because I know South showed out. So I know North has to go and follow to that one. And South is left with an unpleasant choice. If he does ruff, you can see that I'm going to have no trouble making the contract because East will get in with the top spade, and I will just rough my 6 of diamonds. So that will then allow me to meet the last trick with the ace, and I've made my contract. So it probably won't rough. Not with the king. Yes, it'll rough with something. Roughing with the 4 just looks wrong, but if you look, it makes no difference. The jack and the 9 are missing. Doesn't matter whether he roughs with the 8, the 7, or the 4. They're all equivalent cards. So this will drive out one of my honors. And then I have one final thing to be careful about. When I rough this club, now that's the last club from north. So this time, south will be over roughing it. Well, it makes no difference if the king of spades is with north, but it would be catastrophic to play the queen of spades and be overroughed by the king. They can play a trump back and kill my cross drop. So this is the time when you just make absolutely sure that your cross drop is going to be successful by rising with the ace. That cannot be overroughed, because now when you lead the diamond, you're going to make one more trick, either the queen of spades or the jack of spades. If it's the king played, then you have the queen of spades at the end. And of course, you'll probably try the 8, but no good. You just made the contract. So you concede the last trick. And there you go. I thought this hand was easy to start with. Although they've led diamonds, which is always worrying, I thought it was right to continue playing the diamonds. And when you discover the king and the jack are winning, anybody who took the spade finesse, you have my deepest sympathy. I reckon you're making 90% of the time by taking the spade finesse. You've got to be, I think, quite a deep thinker to say, or like me, a sort of very pessimistic and it always happens to me sort of guy. And can I still go down? Well, yes, I can. Is there another line? And actually, these cross-rough lines where you make your small trumps by roughing suits which they can have to follow to, and then leave yourself with loads of high trumps at the end. But if you do that, notice that trick we had to do where when it came down to the last few cards, the danger of an overrough is now marked, and we had to rough with the ace of spades to make absolutely sure that we did win and we could carry on with the cross roll. But I thought that was a difficult hand, especially with that trap of just taking the spade finesse once you've set the hearts up. You do go down if you actually try to do that. So loads of well done, everybody who set up the diamonds, and commiserations if you then took the heart finesse.
Spade finesse.
Spade finesse, yes. I'm not getting enough sleep, you know. I know. Okay, show double nine, exports. There we are, month and 3. Okay, so this looks like an Ackle hand I observed. So one low trump is weak, which should have been announced, because when you're defending, you really need to know the strength of the no trump to make sensible decisions. And well, I probably would myself be trying to offer to play in diamonds. So I suspect this is something I've observed and not something I've actually played in. Anyway, you've got to say 6 no trump isn't a silly bid, because it's a very strong hand in the north. And okay, and this is apparently from the Ryder Cup. Now, I don't know if this is still going. You know about the Bridge Ryder Cup, where the Europeans play the Americans. And a few years ago, some of the top bridge players got sponsors and set up an equivalent bridge event where a committee would select something like 12 or 16 top American bridge players, and I forget the exact number, the same number of European players.
It was 16, Alan, I think.
16, okay.
I
and they
think
got
so.
together, and it was quite a challenge. Is it still going, Colin? Do you know? Because I haven't seen
No,
any.
no, hasn't gone for a long time, I don't
Hasn't
think.
had a sponsor, I imagine. You need the
Mm,
sponsors to.
mm.
So okay. Anyway, this was from that tournament. So I'm assuming this was the sequence followed in the actual tournament. Okay. What's the lead? Oh, you can't repeat a board. That's annoying. Let's have a look at board
Jack of
two.
diamonds. Jack of diamonds.
Oh, thank you, Colin. Jack of diamonds. Is that right? Well, I've got Jack of diamonds. Right. Yeah. Okay. And this was how it was played at the table, is my memory. So natural lead of the Jack of diamonds, and I see no reason to block the diamond suit. It's not a great lead for us. People do lead from Jack 10-9, but it's more common to find at least like this are from Jack Dalton or Jack to 4. And of course, one of my big hopes is that diamonds are
Mm.
breaking
You're
through.
going down now, are you?
Oh, am I? Oh, dear.
I think so.
I show double diamond. Yeah, what am I saying? Oh dear.
You made the same mistake as lots of people
I'm
at the table.
busy talking, Colin. Okay.
I know.
Okay.
You can't get the staff. I've noticed it myself. Yeah.
I'm so sorry. What I should have said is we need to plan the hand. So busy talking about the diamond suit, I forgot to plan the hand. So the plan should go as follows. I have 2 spades, 3 hearts for 5, and 3 diamonds for 8. I now need 4 more. And clearly, the place to find them is mainly in the club suit, because I can force 3 tricks there. And then after that, well, I don't have very many options after that. There's no extra tricks in the heart suit. My main chance is that I have an extra diamond winner if the diamonds are 3-3. I'd have 2 extra winners, and that the Queen of Spades might drop Doubleton, which isn't a big chance, but is finite. It's somewhere in the 30%, I think. And that there is a squeeze on where somebody has to look after the diamonds and the spades. So that's what I should have done at this point. So I want to keep entries to my hand because I need to cash those clubs and have the ability to go backwards and forwards. So of course I would have played if only Colin hadn't been talking to me at the time, would have played the Queen of Diamonds. Be quiet.
Sorry.
And start on the club. Not clear what East would do. I think he'd duck that because it might be a finesse, actually. I wouldn't signal length here. Partner doesn't want to know my length. Declarer does. So I would certainly
At least one East ducked the clubs twice when South won the Ace of Diamonds, and that sealed his fate. Good play by East.
it does seal his fate.
Well, if you take the Ace of Diamonds at trick 1 and then East ducks
Right.
the
If I
clubs
take the
twice,
Ace of Diamonds, which of course I would never do. Good point, though.
no,
That's
of course not.
a good idea to keep the Ace of Diamonds, because if the Ace of Clubs is ducked twice, which is the best play,
I was impressed.
Oh, wow, it's still going down if I play a diamond. Wow. It just shows how important it is. I'm not going to duck it. Most people wouldn't duck it. I see how to make it, but it's a bit of a risky process. So on the 10 of clubs, I'm going to assume that, as many do, you rise with the ace, which does make it easy for the declarer. Okay. And now the normal thing is play back partner suit and try and set it up. So now we're well placed to start cashing our clubs. And we only need 1 diamond winner, so we'll throw that away. And now, well, again, I wanted to go and do a squeeze. Now, squeezes work if you play off all of your side suit winners and then cash the squeeze card. Well, the Queen of Clubs is clearly going to be the squeeze card, where West has to throw away and then North throws away afterwards. But I haven't cashed all my side suit winners. So I've no need to cash the Ace, King, and Diamonds, although I need one of them over there. But whenever you have a card that's an entry, having an extended entry, i.e., a second winning card in the suit, is as good as just having one entry. But what is important is I don't have a suit such as the heart suit, because they can then just they have loads of spare cards and they can throw away whatever they want, and then my squeeze doesn't work. So it's very important at this point to play off my and get back to home. And now that I've cleared all the side suit winners, now I can go and play for my squeeze. So you now have a bit of a guess to make, but I think when East goes and throws a spade, and he did lead that Jack of Diamonds, it could be that the Diamonds are 3-3 still. But the percentage way to play is that West has been squeezed looking after the Diamonds and the spade. So I'm going to throw away the diamond on the assumption that my squeeze has worked. And now when I play the spade suit, the Queen does indeed drop. So I'm able to bring the spade suit in to make my contract. And my memory is, of course, I wrote these years ago. My memory is that's what was done at the actual table. So I think it was possibly, they're not standard partnerships. They're all experts from different parts of the continent. They come together to make up a pair. So they may not have the mechanism to go looking for a 5-4 diamond pit. 1 no trump, 6 no trump is a practical sort of thing. The lead was Jack of Diamonds, and well, that was how South played it. So I don't know how you all did. Winning the King of Diamonds or cashing the hearts makes sense. Yes.
Yeah, you could cross the dummy with heart and cash the diamond, and then come back to hand with the heart and play the quick club, and you know the diamonds aren't breaking at that point.
Oh yes, yes, you're right. Well, you absolutely, that would be much better. I'd have known about this. I didn't have to keep the King of Diamonds, did I?
No, you didn't.
No,
No,
that was stupid. Yes, really
no,
not
not
with this.
stupid. Just you're a
Yeah,
little tired, Alan. I
I am tired
suspect.
today, I tell you.
Mm.
Can he made it East Dutch twice?
You can if you
Well,
keep the ace of diamonds in south, because then you can come back to him with the ace of diamonds and knock out the club, and you've still got the heart entry. So yes, you can, but not if you win the ace of diamonds at trick 1. Now, if East ducks the club twice, now you can't make it anymore.
that's the wrong hand, isn't it? I've moved on to the next one.
Yeah, you moved on to the next one, Alan. Yeah.
Play it again for
Put it back. Yeah.
export to the table. Upload to the table. There we go. Okay. So if we're at 6-0 trump to get to the final contract. Pass, pass, pass. Jack of Diamonds. We should win to keep the entrance.
That's what we're saying. If you don't keep the ace of diamonds, East ducking twice will.
It certainly is a good plan, I think. I mean, I think it's good play. It just could be that Declare's going to rush off and take shit somewhere else, but the odds are that you made his entries to and fro. I think it's difficult to make now.
No, you just play a dot to the ace and knock out the king of diamonds, knock out the ace of clubs.
No, that says it goes down. I'm looking at double dummy, Colin. All right, it says you've got to cash the ace king of hearts first.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, well, I don't actually. I don't. I mean, answering the question, yes, it can be made. And now I can play the diamond, apparently. Okay. Well, I don't think it ever.
Certainly, East makes it a lot more difficult if he ducks the club twice. That was a good play by East that I watched. Yes.
I must say I'm uncertain to why I had to cash the ace king of hearts.
Well, it's because you're going to be squeezing dummy with the king queen of clubs. If you've got a heart you can throw away now.
You're going to win this one. Oh, I see. And then another club is going to come back. Oh, I see.
Now,
To throw the heart.
That's why you need to cash the hearts to avoid blocking the hearts, yes, and keeping the other menaces.
Right. So if he plays a club back, right, I would be in a very awkward position.
Exactly. If you hadn't cashed the ace king of hearts first, yes.
So the answer is yes. You can make it, but you've got to be a very good player. Whoever got the ace of clubs deserves his success, Robert.
I agree.
You have to cash the high heart. I don't think it's obvious at all. Okay, I'm moving on to board 4. Putting that to the table. And I'm not sure I can be bothered plowing through this. Those on the share can see it goes 1 spade, 3 spades, Blackwood, how many things, and then on to 6 spades. So North ends up in 6 spades, and it doesn't sound like there's a great deal to the auction. So I'll just bid 6 spades to get the. Oh well, maybe not from West. I'll just bid 6 spades from North. Although, as the real auction was 1 spade, 3 spades, 1 spade past 3 spades as a start, and then North investigates and goes. Okay, right. The lead is the king of diamonds. It's fairly standard. And this time I'll take some time off to investigate everything. I've got right, 1 winner in better as losers, I think. I might have a club loser, but whether I have a club loser or not, a second club finesse can be used to throw the heart away. So although there is a heart loser, there isn't really. I'm just going to take 2 club finesses and throw the losing heart away. And in the spades, well, I've got 1 loser or 2 losers, depending how I play it and how lucky I am. And really, it comes down to knowing what your options are in the spade suit. One thing about this particular distribution is that you have safety plays whereby you do not cash the ace of spades as your first step. This, of course, is catastrophic if West has king jack small, because you're going to lose 2 spades. On the other hand, if you have a club loser, well, the only way you're going to make is to, well, lead the queen of spades and pin the singleton jack with East, or twice as likely, lay down the ace of spades and find the singleton king of spades with either of the 2 players. So, of course, rather than play for a particular card with a particular person, laying down the ace of spades would be much better than leading the queen rather than finesse the leading the queen, hoping to pin the jack. So should I do that? Well, I don't know, because I don't know whether I've got a club loser. If I have a club loser, I can't afford any losers in spades. I must lay down the ace of spades and see whether the king drops. If I don't have a club loser, then I can think about how to go and do these safety plays where I play the suit to make sure I've only got 1 loser in it and not 2. So the right first step is very definitely to win a trick one, and take the club finesse straight away, which I saw several people do. So that's very good. And I don't think sometimes it matters whether you play the queen or the jack, since with ace, queen, jack, they have a hope that you might repeat the finesse, and sometimes they keep the king and you think the finesse is winning, but it isn't. Here, I don't think they would duck it. It's quite possible you have a doubleton club from their point of view, and if they let the queen win, they may have just not taken their king of spades. So when that finesse works, I would take that to be a definite confirmation that it's going to work the next time as well. I do not have a club loser, so I can afford to do one of these fancy plays, safety plays in the spade seat to ensure I only ever lose one trick, but not two. So what is the safety play? Well, it's more like, what are the safety plays? One of them is simply at this point to lead towards the queen. Let me do that so you can see. Now, if the king was here, the queen would win the trick, and then there'd be only two trumps left out at most. I could play the ace of spades later and make sure. When he shows out, well, fine, they get a trick straight away, but you can see, and I'll just play it to make it easy to, I'm not sure you'd lead a heart, but we would sooner or later get to hand, and we will now take the spade finesse, winning with the ace-10, and we've only lost one more trick, one trick. So that's one of the two safety plays. That's probably the one I would do, because I'm in dummy, having just won this club finesse, which I so celebrated, and so it's natural to get on with playing the spades as soon as I can. And of course, the idea is don't play the ace, which puts you at a hostage situation of West having king, jack small, lead to the queen, and whichever side the king is on, or if both people follow as well. If both people follow, the ace will draw the remaining trump later on. The other one, you would need to be in hand. So not easy to reach hand. And I certainly wouldn't do this in real life, but let's just get here. This is to show the second safety play. The idea is I lead the 4, and when the 3 is played, I play the 10. I play the 10 if West follows with a spade, because if the 10 wins, as it would here, I've just made the contract. I can continue with the ace. But if the 10 lost, if it lost, say, to the jack, well, then the trumps are broken. I can now cash the ace of spades, and the trumps will break. So by playing small and being willing to put the 10 in, I expect it to lose to the jack or the king. But I don't. When it does, I know that I'm going to make the contract for the rest of the things. And what happens if West showed out, though? Let's suppose that 3 of spades was a discard. Yeah, diamond. So this 3, so I suppose West showed out, but now I have a complete change of heart. If West is showing out, East has all the spades. So this time I rise with the ace, and now I play through the king of spades towards my queen. So I'll claim, just so you can see the full hand, and I'm claiming, I just made, didn't I? 3, less than, yeah, competition. Okay, so I made, and the points about the hand are, first of all, there are clever things you can do with the spade suit, but can you afford it? Play on the other suit that matters to find out whether you need to have a desperation play of the ace of spades, or whether you can actually do one of these clever things. Then the other things are either lead the 4 of spades towards the ace 10, being prepared to finesse, or lead towards the queen of spades. Either it will make a trick, or it will set up as here, will set up a finesse against the jack and the small one. So those are the 2 safety plays that are available to you. But You've got to know that you can afford them, and that's why the club is so important. Could you play the 2 spades and repeat it? The 2 of spades, repeat what, Nancy? Couldn't I play the 2?
You're never going to play the spades for no losers.
Low spade.
Unless he had singleton jack or something and you guessed.
Yeah, low spade to hand, but you could protect against West. No, I can protect against both of them. As long as I can afford to lose a trick, Robert. If East has 3 spades, I just lead a small spade towards the queen. I'm going to make a trick with the queen of spades, a trick with the ace, and they will make one trick. So you play the 2. So you are still in cell. You're okay now, right? I played the 2 of spades. East has king jack small. If he lets me win my queen, I just play the ace. And if he rises with the king, I've got the ace of the queen to win. So it's a safety play. There's either player having 3 spades. As for that matter, it's small towards the ace 10 and putting the 10 in if West shows that he has a card. Not for nothing do I waste my youth reading textbooks. But moving on to the next board. There, another long auction. I don't know how much of this I need. It's a bit esoteric anyway. Oh, I see. That's okay. Well, I'll just I'll go to it. So pass initially. 1/2. Pass. 1 spade. No, 2 clubs. Sorry, really am tired. 2 clubs. Pass. 2 spades. And pass. And 2 more trumps, which looks normal. And then pass 3 no trumps, which still looks normal. Then what doesn't look normal is that West apparently bids 4 spades. Why would he do that when partner's only got 4 spades? I sometimes make notes where I get the hand from, and it would be interesting to know if this is a real auction or not.
This looks like a rabbit's hand.
It doesn't look. Well, I don't know. Then go and say I can play in the and they've only got 3 spades. It was very strange to me, this sequence. Anyway, here we are in 6 spades. Okay.
No, that's not it, Strider. Don't think anyway.
What do I do? Upload the deal to. Oh, it's next. Okay. So 3 of spades is the lead. Okay, so 3 of spades is the lead. Okay, so having learned from a hand I played with Colin recently, or talked about with Colin recently, we seem to have 4 spades, 1 heart for 5, 3 clubs for 8, and 2 diamonds for 10. So we have 10 tricks, and we need to find 2 more. So where can I find them from? Well, one way I might find them is by roughing 2 hearts. That would give me 2 extra tricks, and then I make my contract. Another way I might find them is by finding the clubs 3-3. Not a great chance, of course, because but if they are, then I'll have 2 club tricks. And then another thing I might do, I don't think there's any tricks in diamonds. I might be able to just take 1 heart rough and try to come to 1 extra club trick. So those I think are my 3 options. And the last one is best, and I'll explore it less, because let's go over these in more detail. Certainly the one that would rush to my mind is I want to go and win this and rough 2 hearts. And you should play this through in your mind, because although we'll play it through on the table in a moment, you should train yourself to look ahead and see whether there are any snags. So we're going to win this probably with the 8 because it's cheap. We're going to do 8 of hearts, rough a heart. I've got my first rough. And I've got to get back to dummy. Sorry, I've got to get back to east hand. I'm going to cross to the ace of clubs and rough another heart. Yay, I've succeeded. I have roughed 2 hearts and I have 2 extra tricks. Now, the problem is I had to follow to a trump and I've roughed 2 hearts. How do I get back to hand? And, well,
you don't.
Well, I might be able to. Colin, if spades are 3-3, I can play ace of diamonds, king of diamonds, rough a diamond, and now I'm going to triumphantly make my contract when I draw trumps. So I will be playing, and this is what I said, that try to look ahead to envisage it, right? So ace of hearts, rough 1, cross on the ace of clubs, rough another one. How do you get back to hand? Now I'll show it to you, just so if you're finding it hard to envisage all right? This is what you should have been able to see. Heart to the ace. I don't bother with the signaling at the moment since there's the first rough. Cross over to get my second rough. And then there we go. So you can see I've got my 2 tricks in, and I'm going to use the clubs to throw one of the hearts away because they haven't broken. But can I get back to hand and draw? And only if the spades are going to break 3-3, so that when I use up one of my trumps, I am able to draw trumps with the ace and queen of spades. So it's not that great a line after all, because of this thing that I'm really playing for a 3-3 break in that suit. Let's go back to loads of. This is slow. That's because I'm recording, isn't it? I'm sharing screen. Ooh, all the way to 3
You've gone back a little too far. Yeah.
Oh, they all come through at the end. Brilliant. Okay.
So
6 spades.
They catch up with you.
6 spades. Okay, so the lead was a diamond. No, it wasn't. Yes, it was. No, it wasn't. What's the lead, Colin? 3 of spades.
The lead was a 3 of spades.
Okay, so the first line that I thought of doing isn't as great as it seems to be at the start. It looked a stroll in the park until I realized I didn't have enough entries. The second line was to hope that clubs are 3-3. And to be honest, that's the same as the first line, because the chance of either the spades or the clubs breaking 3-3 is 35.5%, but slightly over a third of the time. So was there another one where I make a trick out of the one trick out of the heart and another trick out of the clubs? Well, yes, providing you see it. The trouble is, when you're thinking, well, I can rough this, I can rough that, right there, what you've got to do to make another club trick is much more subtle. You do win the 8. You simply duck a club to preserve all your options. Yes, you're giving a trick away, but hey, you've got everything covered. And by giving your trick away, you've almost certainly set up an extra trick in the club suit. So unless, I mean, they might break 5-1 or even worse, but with 3-3 club breaks or 4-2 club breaks, which is something like 78% of the time,
80% thereabouts.
80%. It's really
well, roughly, yeah.
Right. Okay, so I'm also, and now, well, they may Not sure. Will they continue stopping my roughs, or will they? I don't care. Let's suppose they try to stop the roughs. Okay, so I play the 9. I have to overtake that. Okay. So now I'm going to get my second trick, because the clubs are all set up ready to run, by roughing a heart. That's my second additional trick. There we go. And now I've got to come back to hand this time. Because I kept the ace of clubs, I can come back to hand and still have trumps left to draw trumps. So you can see this time I'm not really going to have any troubles with them. Not sure what he'd do, really. Probably keep the diamonds guarded. Want to keep the clubs guarded. Throw a heart at this point. And then another one. And well, he's going to keep the clubs guarded, isn't it? But it makes no difference. They're not guarding anyway. So I'm going to cross on a diamond, and the whole of dummy is good for 5 tricks. So I can actually play him. There we go. So I thought that I found it difficult at first when I thought about this one, because of course one is so locked up in, well, I can rough this, cross over here, or I can go and there. You've got to sort of pull yourself back a bit and say, well, one of the standard ways of setting up an additional trick in the clubs is just to duck a trick. And once you
it's very difficult to see, though, Alan, isn't it?
Oh yeah, I think it's because there's so many distractions, Colin.
Yeah.
You know, you got these options of roughing that, or indeed, you might even think, well, I can set up a club by playing ace king rough a club. That will give me an extra, but of course that uses up one of your trumps. So it's another distraction, though, about and let's say, I guess as well, ducking the club and isolating the ace in your hand looks strange as well. So it's kind of hard to see, but if you do think of it, then it becomes absolutely obvious that that is definitely the way to go and play the hand.
Yes, I couldn't agree more. I mean, the thing is that the options of the clubs being 3-3 or the spades being 3-3 are easy to spot. For some reason, the option of ducking the club, although it's definitely the right thing to do, is not easy to spot. It's something that the vast majority of people will not even think about.
Okay, let's move on to board number 6, which is this one. And okay, another of these what looks to me like a real life auction. And what's the lead? Lead is the king of clubs, right? Okay. So it goes, who's on lead? South was 1 heart. No. East is past then. 1 heart. 6 spades. There we go. This is quite amusing. I bumped the table and said, I wouldn't do this to you in real life. Good point. Could be that 7 diamonds is the right spot. Okay. Lead is the natural, I think, king of clubs. Surely declare as expecting a heart, so maybe there's some tricks in the club suit. And this, for once, is an easy hand to analyze, because there's not many ways of playing it. I have a possible loser in diamonds. You're actually above 50% in diamonds. The diamonds, yes, might break 3-3, which is, 35.5, but there might be Jack Doubleton, and the combined chance of Jack Doubleton and 3-3 is about 52%. So you've actually got a good chance.
3-3 is unlikely, Alan. You're only missing 5.
3-3. Why is it that unlikely, Colin?
Well, because there's only 5 missing, so 3-3 is 2.5, 2.5, if like.
Oh,
But
3-2, maybe. Yes, I think you're right. 3-2. Oh dear, I've got this totally wrong. Haven't I? Oh dear. I can't even count. Okay, if they're 3-2, which is, I don't know, 67%, you're fine. And if they're 4-1, they could still be a singleton jack. Whatever it is, you've got very good chances in the diamonds. But it's not
exactly.
100%. It's quite possible that somebody's got 4 diamonds, you might have a diamond. In the spacesuit, well, you need them to be 2-1 to get anywhere. Even if you cross the dummy with the king of diamonds and finesse, if south has 3 to the king, yes, the finesses work, but you still haven't gained a trick. So you need the space to be 3-2. So sorry, 3-2. You need the space.
2-1.
Thank you. You should be doing this. Classical angels so good at it. Okay, you need the space to be 2-1. One of my options is to cross the dummy with the king and take the finesse, which is, well, I suppose slightly less than 50% now, because even when the finesse is right, I still haven't made the contract. And the other one is to play the ace of spades off, and then to see whether, because the king might drop, it might be singleton, there's a reasonably good chance of that. But if it doesn't, then can I use the remaining trump by having dummy? And of course, the answer is, of course I can use it, because I was worried about that diamond suit on the off chance it's not breaking. So how about if I use my, come on, drop. Nope, didn't drop. So how about, there's only 1 trump out now. So if I just start on the diamonds and discover that they're not breaking out, even if south has the king of spades, if he ruffs it, I'll just throw my losing diamond. So anyway, he'll throw a heart probably. So okay, I'll play my ace and follow, and the queen, and I haven't broken, but no problem, because I kept that trump in dummy, and I can use that trump to ruff the thing. Now my last diamond is good, so I can go and cross to the 7 of spades, and now I would just, well, I'll catch the diamond first, I think. Claim. And send the diamond. Oh, he has to play. Oh, right. Okay, so but basically, I suppose I can do anything. I play the diamond first, or I can play a spade and then cash all my remaining winners. I have all the winners except 1, so I can claim my contract. And right. Okay, so this hand is just a matter of seeing that taking the finesse is a reasonable chance, a bit less than 50%, because you still fail if south has 3 spades. But the value of being able to ruff the 4th round of diamonds makes it highly well worth playing the ace of spades first to go and use the trumps. I watched this at many levels, and it was actually kind of a bit sad in a way. Let me put the hand up again. Put it to the table, next to the table. Is it there? No, I'll put it to the table. There we go. Right, okay. So this was, let me do pass, 6 spades. That's the final contract. Pass. Lead of the king of clubs. There we go. I saw many people lay down the ace of spades. Which is the right thing to do. But what I found sad was that they didn't appreciate the value of being able to ruff the fourth round of diamonds. You see, it costs nothing to play 2 rounds. If diamonds are breaking, they're 3-2. You can play off 2 rounds of diamonds, the ace and the king, and all they can do is ruff with the king. It's the only one missing. You still have managed to keep a top trump to guide it. And if the spade they're breaking all along, by all means play off another spade to get rid of the king of spades. But when they have the top trump, just one trump, it's irrelevant really whether you play a spade or whether you play your side suits. Sooner or later they're going to ruff with that king of spades, and it is just a trick coming their way. But there's no rush for you to get rid of it. Nevertheless, I saw people another spade, a trick 2, removing their option of roughing the diamond, which I found rather sad, really, since they'd done well to cash the ace. I saw
one player got away with it though. Or north through diamonds when the spades were run.
Oh yes, yes. That was true as well. That's less clear actually. Well, I don't think it's less clear. South has bid hard, so they'll do those. They play this. Was it the same table? Bit unclear what South should be doing here. Probably, what system they play. I think another club was played. On a bid hard.
Yeah, but
play hearts.
Yeah,
but
playing the heart, you get exactly the information.
North had to go and find loads of discards as all the things were run. And you have to ask yourself, what have I got here that I need to keep? Well, you need to keep maybe the jack of clubs. It's hard to see that the declarer can seriously cross to dummy, rough out the clubs and then get back. So throwing clubs seems to be good. The hearts, well, again, it's hard to see how your 10 of hearts can be useful in protecting the heart suit. Nevertheless, an early card, but the diamonds on the other hand could easily be a trick, because declarer might have 4 diamonds, so the ace queen 10 spot, and you need to keep the jack 9. Nevertheless, although the diamonds is likely to be where you have a trick, Colin and I indeed saw a diamond discarded, and so the contract made anyway. I'll do one more. Another way the contract made was that the finesse was taken. Oops, it can all come together, isn't it, at the end? Right, okay. Learn my lesson from last time. So if you rough this, one person crossed in a diamond and took the finesse. And king. Okay. And what North should be thinking here was that, well, there's not much future in the club suit because they've already gone and roughed that suit. It's possible that partner's got a trick in the heart suit, but if so, there's no rush to go and take that trick in the heart suit. Best thing I can do, since they may want to go and rough a diamond, is to continue with a spade to make sure they cannot rough the 4th round of diamonds. That is likely to be the best defense now. It would be silly to lead a heart, playing partner for the ace of hearts, but is there any rush? It's hard to see how the ace of hearts can disappear. If there's a small heart over there, what can declarer throw it on? Whereas it is possible that roughing a diamond is an extra trick for declarer. What actually was played was another club, and so declarer now was able to, declarer didn't draw the last trump, declarer played off ace queen of diamonds and roughed a diamond and made the contract after all. So even though they take the spade finesse and given North a chance to set the contract, North failed to grab that chance and kill the rough in the dummy. It was all very sad. Okay.
We were trying.
2 for 1 is normally the bunny. Yeah, well done, excellent. Right, board number 7. Export to the table. Oh dear, another long auction. 1 club, 1 heart, 2 diamonds. Right, so I don't know whether that's relevant, so I'll give the auction. So, right, 1 club, 1 heart, 2 diamonds, 2 hearts, 2 spades. Oh,
3 spades, I think.
I picked 2 hearts. There should be 2 hearts. Oh dear. I really am tired. Doing everything wrong. 2 hearts.
You're doing a fine, Alan. Stop it.
Really? Right.
Yes, really.
3 hearts and 4 spades. He's bit ambitious for the 3, but he expects his partner to be 5-5 or 6-4. So I guess it's not a silly name, but he does need his partner to have good trumps. I suppose he's got the ace of clubs, so partner must have a lot of good cards somewhere. So I guess 4 spades is quite an insightful bid, really. Okay, pass, and the lead is
Clubs.
it's the Jeffersons. Okay, I'm trying not to leave the instructions up because they go into the recording. Oh, wait a bit! Didn't Charlotte say that she cut off the right-hand side? They even say if I leave it up, everybody else can see it as well. Okay, here we go. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 in the space suit, 8 hearts and 5, 6, 7 in the club suit, and the ace of diamonds for 6. I need 2 more tricks. This is clearly somewhere where I've got to set something up. I don't think I can cross-ruff this hand. And I don't really see how I can ruff diamonds and set the diamonds up because I lose some of my top trumps doing so, at least I'm likely to. West bid the diamonds, I think. So it looks to me like I should be trying to set the clubs up and then draw the spades and cash my clubs. The only trouble is South opened the club and then bid the spades later on. So the club suit is known to be South suit, and nevertheless, West has gone and led the jack. Now, this is an almost certain sign that West is kind-hearted, but equally often, West has a singleton and is not so nice and is trying to set the contract. Personally, I would vote for the latter one. That they're not trying to help set up your main suit. They are actually trying to get a ruff because it's a singleton. So the obvious thing to do is to take the ace of clubs and play towards the king of clubs and ruff a club. But when I play to the king of clubs, they are going to ruff it. At least I assume so. It's the only thing that explains the lead. And if it's a singleton, I've still got loads of ruffs to do. So that actually is a line which is probably going to fail by inference about what the lead means. So what can I do? Well, I still got to set the suit up, but do I have to cash the king of clubs at trick 2? And no, I don't think I do. So actually, if I follow the plan, I think you keep all his high clubs here. Of playing a club, because I really need to set these up, he'd insert to make sure I use it. But I'm not going to put my king up here because, in fact, if West does follow to a club, I'm probably going to make this with an over trick. I'll lose 1 diamond. But what I am going to do is dock the club trick because now I've progressed my plan of trying to set the clubs up without losing one of my top cards. It's still a winner, you see. Once I draw some trumps, I can cash that king of clubs later on, and so that just means there's less work to be done in setting up the suit. East will discard a diamond, maybe, don't know. And now, well, I'm not sure that East is going to play a club. You can see if he does play a club, I can just put the 9 on, and he needs rush with the spade. I've got loads of control in this hand now. All of my suit is good. I can draw 3 rounds of trumps, and although they've got a trump left, I'm just going to keep playing clubs forever until they use up their trump. I'm going to rough something back in, and I'm going to take the remaining clubs. So I will lose a spade. I will lose a diamond probably, but no way am I going to go down because I have got the club suit running. So if he ducks it, well, I think things are even worse for him now. My suit is still set up, but they haven't even used up my ace of spades. So so that would be wrong. And so would he probably West bid hearts? Personally, I think East would probably lead a heart through, hoping that maybe there's a couple of heart tricks coming. Well, now I haven't yet got my suit set up, but I'm all ready to do it. So I'm going to, and we're in the same position I was just discussing. He'll probably force out my ace. It's probably the best play. But I'll just draw the trumps. Well, not all of them. I can't do that. Open for a break here. They're not breaking, so they've got the top trump, but I have the so just keep on going, and sooner or later East will have to use his trump up. I'll lose a diamond as well, but I'm going to come to the ace of diamonds, the 7 of clubs, the 5 of spades. I have 3 more tricks here. Whatever he does, I mean, this would be the most direct. I just rough in at that point, and I catch my 7 of clubs, and I catch my ace of diamonds. So I'm going to claim. So it's another example of how setting up a suit is so much easier if you're prepared to just duck around. Here, it was very tempting to take that king, but especially being almost certain that the king is going to get roughed, one of the standard strings in your quiver is that where you keep strings, perhaps these arrows in your bow, or something like that. So one of the things you should always think of doing is, instead of actually playing off the top cards and then directly going for roughs, see what just ducking is. They often then are left with lines, all of which fail because you left yourself with so much control. I think he put a trick. I don't know. The trumps are also the communication suit here, Robert. So I think drawing the trumps before you go for the clubs is definitely counterindicated. But and I have a suspicion as well that if West hadn't led that jack, if he'd have just led a heart, what's the odds now that you're going to play ace of clubs, king of clubs, because you won't be suspecting now that the so I'm not sure. It's so often wrong to lead their suit. I've seen many hands whereby it goes across. Partner's got the ace and the queen and gives you a rough, but now their suit is set up. So they win their. You could have set up your own suit by leading hearts, but now they win the 8 of hearts, draw trumps, and you have set their suit up as because you were so desperate to get a ruff. So it's my feeling is that these attempts to take a ruff by helping them set up their main suit is a losing practice much more often than it's a winning practice. Anyway, board number 8. Okay. So this is 1, no trump. What are we playing here? Draw, something. Oh, perhaps it's a pass. Okay, pass, 1 no trump. Okay, and then there's Blackwood, 2 hearts. Right. Blackwood, Stamer, that's it. 2 trumps. 2 hearts out of the heart suit. And 4 hearts. There we go. That's what loads of people would do on this hand. I have to tell you, I am totally against this auction. And that's because when you're 4-3-3-3, playing in a 4-4 fit often doesn't benefit you, but you have another trick to find. Or sometimes partner's heart suit turns out to be quite weak. Of ace empty, he's got loads of other tricks outside, but he's only got ace 5-3-2, and so you end up losing tricks in the heart suit when actually you could have been playing on the clubs or the diamonds or so on. So with such a balanced hand, I always recommend to any of my students that you should just be bidding 3 no trumps. It won't always be right, of course, but it's going to be right much more often than finding you've got a 4-4 fit in the major and playing it in the major. So I strongly discourage the 2 club bid and then the subsequent 4 heart bid. But again, let me have a look. Let's see what this says. Okay. Well, I really talked to the people who did it then. This was a hand I got when I was observing an IAC tourney. I was idling my time away one day and went to watch, and I saw this hand played. So this was the auction produced. In fact, I even know one of the players is, but there we go. So here we are in 4 hearts, and the lead is, lost it. Did you notice it? No. There's a glitch in this system whereby you cannot load the same hand twice. You have to load a different hand first. Okay, so the lead is the 8 of diamonds. Okay, there we go.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have 1, 2, 3 in diamonds. It's 1 in hearts, 1 in clubs. Not, but I got loads of other tricks as well. Probably better to look at losers. So I've got 1 trick in the club suit, probably regardless. Even if I lead the queen of clubs and the king is with West, he'll cover it, and I'll lose a club trick later on. So I've probably got 1 club trick, no tricks in diamonds. Oh, I've even got a discard. So maybe I can throw a club away, and now if the Vanessa is right, I won't have any tricks. Anyway, 1 trick in clubs, 1 loser in the spade suit, and 1 loser in the heart suit. So in these situations, got to be a little bit careful. If you start playing on the side suits, you don't want to set up 4th round winners for them, nor, of course, do you want to go and set up ruffs for them, because you are playing in the trump suit instead of the more obvious 3 no trumps. So we're going to win this. Do I win in hand? That rather weakens the diamonds. I think I should. I don't know whether the partner thinks that's the, he may think it's a solid suit. Who knows? Okay, so I have three losers. I've got one in clubs, one in spades, one in the heart suit. And the obvious thing to do is then to draw the trumps, even if they're 4-1. If I draw the trumps, I should still be able, I think, to play on the spade suit and play on the club suit and just lose one trick in all those and then come to make my contract. There's two ways of playing the hearts, and I don't actually know which is best. One of these is to play the ace in case there's a singleton king, and then continue playing the hearts. My worry about that is if the trumps are 4-1, when you play off your top control, you do surrender control to the opponent. So a sounder way is probably to leave the 10. It's unlikely that if they are 4-1 that it's a singleton king. And in fact, I saw this done, and East was a good player, and he realized that the 10 probably means that you're finessing against the Jack of Hearts. So he ducked it with the king, expecting you to take the finesse, which duly happened. And now, of course, you can actually bring the whole of the heart suit in but regardless, let's suppose I say I rather like the lead of the 10. I thought it was a rather good try. Suppose East had actually done the kind of
sensible way.
Well, I duck it. It's probably what I would do. I think he's going to run.
Yes, me too, Alan. Yes, I
Okay.
wasn't decrying it. It was good play.
Right. Okay. So, right. So, how does East continue? I mean, you look at this dummy. You do wonder, can I get partner in to take a rough? It's clear you've got the ace of diamonds. Who opened the bidding? One no trump. I think if you count the points, West must have almost all the
-4.
Yeah, so it doesn't really matter what you do, right? And now we're going to play the ace to, and they are breaking, so we've got no problem to and that's that gone. So now I can try and set up my spade suit for I've got an entry with the Queen of Hearts. So where am I? In dummy, right? So I do the spade, probably ducked, king, and you can see they're not breaking, but no problem. I got the king of sorry, nobody. No, you win at that stage, won't you? But to do what? Probably to play the 10 of spades.
Exit safely with a spade. Yeah.
Okay, so there. Okay, so well, I guess I need to rough that one. Cash the king of diamonds. It's a winner. Why not? And maybe I'll even make an over trick. Maybe,
Not with Alan's hands, you won't.
Not an over trick. So we just end up just making the contract and claim all the remaining tricks. Okay. So it looks a walk in the park, doesn't it? So what could have gone wrong? What attracted my attention to this when I observed it being played in the IAC tournament? And let's put it up again, export it to the table, upload the deal to the table. There we go. And the contract, you remember, was 4 hearts at the end of the day, I suppose. And leaves the 8 of diamonds, and it was an imps tournament. So I have to say, if it was match point, it's nowhere near as clear, because this business of playing ace and another heart or leading a low heart gives away what could be a crucial overtrick. Every time the king of hearts is with West, then you may be scoring one over trick less than everybody else. And when you're playing match points, that is not a good thing. But when you're playing imps, safety is the maximum concern, which is why I observed Jack immediately start playing the hearts. Well done, Jack. Excellent thing to do. But what the actual declarer did was play for the over trick by finessing the heart. There we go. And how did that cost? Well, East observed his or her partner's 9 of spades and continued with another spade. And now he's supposed to have 3 tricks. There's no way of avoiding the club loser. We've got you throw one of them away from either hand. The king of diamonds can throw 1 club from the north hand. The queen of spades can throw the 6 of clubs. But at the end of the day, you're going to have to take the club finesse. And when declarer did that, of course, the club finesse lost. And so it went 1 down. So this time I'm claiming it again. Only this time I'm playing it for down 1. So the general rule is, when you've got the tricks, get rid of the trumps. That's probably going to be the only way that you can go down, because some accident happens with the trump suit. Not true for mash points, where making over tricks is very important. But when you're playing for imps, all that matters is that giant bonus you get when you make a game. And declarer could have tried crossing to dummy with the queen jack of clubs, and you can see the same thing could have happened there. If north south east wins with the king and plays another club, allowing you to take the finesse, once again he's able to give his partner a rough, and that will be, well, very sad for north south. So you don't need to take the heart for this. You're quite prepared with 3 losers. Give them their heart trick, and no accidents should befall you when you play the rest of the contract. And Curl says capital D. Yes, well,
can I say something, Alan?
Yes, of course you can, Colin.
Well, I mean, what I was going to say was that I dare gamble that whoever played the contract in the way you described, crossing to dummy with a spade to take the heart finesse, didn't realise that they'd actually made a mistake. They would have said, "Oh, that was unlucky," you know, I didn't see the spade rough coming.
I can't remember. It was a few years ago. So.
No, but I suspect that this is the sort of thing that happens, that people don't realise they could have actually done better. That's all I'm saying.
Counting is partly the key, of course.
Yeah, of course.
You remember I counted twice. First of all, I tried to count the winners, but it was too confusing. Then I counted the losers, and I had 3 losers. Then I made a plan based on the 3 losers. And counting your winners, counting your losers is always the key start of planning any contract. You need to know what you want and what you're trying to achieve. Yes. I saw something amazing the other day, Sanya. I saw the opponent set up a spade suit, so it was good, and declarer drew trumps ending with the spade suit, but the temptation of finessing the ace queen of clubs was too much for her. So instead of using the spade suit that the opposition set up to throw the club away, she finessed the club and went 1 down. And I thought, that is so sad. I thought. So
you were
yes,
crying, weren't
you
you?
can take unnecessary risks all the time, Sonia. You're absolutely right. Sorry, Colin, I interrupted you again.
I said you were crying.
Yeah,
So sad.
it does hurt. We sort of, how can I help? I can't. They're in a competition. Oh, well. Okay, that's it for today. That's board 8, everybody. It's been lovely to see you all again.
Thank you, Alan.
No, thank you, Colin. It's always nice to have company, especially when I'm this tired. Keep me on the straight and narrow.
Mm.
Okay, usual order. I'm going to shut down voice. Then I'm going to. Oh, wait a bit. I'm going to stop sharing, Senya.